Hello, this is Tanmay, and today I'll be telling you how we can track our user for page elements. Now, a website is made up of a lot of elements. So, elements is these small constituents of a website. So, particularly today I'll be talking about an example of a form, and we'll be looking how can we track user interaction on this contact us form. There are two fields, name, email, and these two are the elements that I'll be tracking with Google Tag Manager. So first things first, what we're going to do is we are going to make a trigger for this same. Now this trigger will be of type element visibility. Now, element visibility is it simply means that whenever a specific element gets visible onto the screen or onto the navigation, then this trigger type will be activated. And what is the element? How we are going to select the element? Then it is CSS selector. And as mentioned in the previous videos, if I want to supposingly I want to track the success message of this. So this is the message that I want to track with. So what I'm going to do is I'll just inspect this, and when I'll inspect this, I'll get the exact CSS selector for the same. So basically whenever this text appears on my screen, I just want to fire my Google tag so that so I can get some information. So we'll just copy selector here and we'll navigate to your window, and you can paste the CSS selector that you got from there. And when to fire this trigger, I want this to be fired only once per page and not all the time it happens, because definitely my form is going to be submitted only once. And for advanced settings, I'll talk about minimum percent visible. Now, as per my use case, this h1 tag, this element will be visible. Either it will be 100% visible or it will be 0% visible. So I have set it to be 100% visible. And this trigger fires on all visibility events. That means all the changes in the DOM that are happening due to this particular element. So we have attached this trigger to a specific element that is named hashtag SUC. And what we're going to do is we'll just I have named it EV submitted. You can give it your own name. So when you'll create it, the triggers will be showing into the list. And after the creation of triggers, what we do is we'll be creating a tag for this purpose now. So to create a tag, uh, I've already created, so I'll show that tag to you. So the tag is this one, GA4 event submit. So for the tag type, I've chosen GA4 event, and the configuration tag will be according to your naming conventions that will come in this list. And event name, I've given it detail form. And to this, the trigger associated that we just created is EV submitted. Now I have attached this trigger to this particular tag. Now our work here is done. Now what we can do is we can just simply launch preview mode and test that whether on submitting that form, when the success message comes, are we getting the option of are we getting the option to view that particular message there. So we'll preview this, and we'll be submitting our form there. Okay, I'll just copy the URL here. So my website gets opened up. I'll just check the connection here. Yeah, so it gets connected. So what I'll do is I'll just navigate to my contact us section, and on navigating there, I'll be passing on the details here. Right now, validation is only for missing values. So when I'll click this, my response will be recorded. And if you look on to the element visibility, since this tag got visible, this h1 tag got visible here, so it has fired an element visibility trigger here, and due to that, the data has been sent to GA4 because of the Google Analytics 4 tag that was fired. And if you look onto the variables, you'll see the form event has been recorded and the form text says your details have been submitted. So since we have, like, we can verify in this manner that whether the element visibility form element visibility trigger is working and the data is being sent back to Google Analytics. I also want to track one more thing here, that uh, if I refresh this website and if I try to show you that I leave, supposedly I leave my name field empty, so I'll get an error message for the same. And I also want to track the same, that whether the user committed an error while filling the form. So simple, I'll just right click on this name is missing and inspect it. And as we did it in the as we did it for the successful submission message, we are going to copy the CSS selector here, copy selector, and we'll just navigate back to the tool tag manager. Now we'll have to repeat the process once again, because we'll have to create another trigger for this. This won't work on the submission trigger as it is different. So I've already created a trigger. I'll just show you that, and you can just, so trigger type is element visibility. It will be same because we are trying to find a particular element, and you can just always paste the selector here. Mine was hashtag NERR. And in this, I want only every time an element appears on screen, every time it happens. There can be various times where the user commits an error while filling a form. And for advanced, again, we are filling the values of 100% because either the h1 tag will be visible or it won't be visible there. Now, one thing to note here, it's very important to tick this because it is kind of a DOM change, document object model change that is happening on our website. So if you do not tick this, then it's high probability that your error message is not tracked and it does not fire the track. And for this, uh, you can just rename it according to your conventions. I have given it EV error message. Now, after creation of a trigger for the same, we'll be creating a tag that sends our data back to Google Analytics. So for the creation of tag, what you need to note here that you'll need to select the correct trigger for this. Do not select the successful submission trigger. You will have to select error message trigger so that it works just the way you want. I have named the event name to be detail error, and you can pass on your comfortable name. The tag name is GA4 detail error. It helps me to identify the tags in a better way. So I have done that same. So what we're gonna do is we'll be testing it again. So let me open the preview mode. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to commit a mistake while for filling up the form. So it will just replicate the error that a user can make while filling up the details. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to fill something here, and I'll be sending the data. So you know that name is missing, and if we go on to our tag manager assistant, we'll see that this time there is an error because I committed this error, name is missing. It fired the custom tag that we created and also sent our data to Google Analytics, and it says detail error. And if we say the variables, now you'll see the click text is name is missing, and the form text that is being returned to the Google Tag Manager is also name is missing. So like this, we can, using the CSS selector in a very good way, we can nearly track everything that is happening on our website. It can be any element on our website that the user is interacting with. So this marks the end of this video. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.